Young Sheldon's Georgie and Mandy spinoff needs Meemaw's The Big Bang Theory character change. When young Sheldon came to a bittersweet end in 2024, it left behind not only a legacy of tender family moments and intelligent humor, but also fertile ground for spin-offs. CBS wasted no time in greenlighting a new series focused on Georgie Cooper and Mandy McAllister as they navigate young adulthood, parenthood, and the early stages of married life. But while fans are eager to see more of this lovable duo, there's one key character who could make or break the show: Meemaw. More specifically, the success of the Georgie and Mandy spinoff might hinge on aligning Meemaw's character more closely with the version viewers came to know and question in The Big Bang Theory. Meemaw's two drastically different personas. In Young Sheldon, Meemaw, played by Annie Potts, is a sassy, fiercely independent, fun-loving grandmother who's part confidant, part chaos agent. She's warm, witty, and often the coolest person in the room. But in The Big Bang Theory, when Sheldon finally introduces her in Season 9, we meet a very different version. Mary Cooper's mother is still stubborn and traditional, but she's also colder, more judgmental, and surprisingly harsh towards Sheldon's fiancée, Amy Farrah Fowler. The tonal dissonance between these two portrayals raised eyebrows among fans, especially since Meemaw was so beloved in Young Sheldon. This inconsistency may have been easy to brush aside in the past, but now that the Georgie and Mandy spinoff will feature Meemaw in a more prominent ongoing role, the writers have an opportunity, and a necessity, to reconcile or evolve her character. Why Meemaw matters in the spinoff. Georgie and Mandy's spinoff promises to explore the next chapter in the Cooper family story, picking up with the young couple raising their daughter, Cease, in Texas while building a life together. In that setup, Meemaw would naturally remain an important influence. As the matriarch with the most wisdom, lived experience, and a rebellious streak, she could offer comic relief and emotional grounding in equal measure. But Meemaw's evolving role also demands narrative consistency. If the show intends to age her into the version we eventually meet in The Big Bang Theory, this transformation has to feel authentic. The spin-off is the perfect place to depict how life's hardships, including grief, aging, and fractured family dynamics, slowly shape her into the sterner woman Sheldon later remembers. Tracing the path to the TBBT version of Meemaw, one of the central challenges for the writers is crafting a character arc that bridges the gap between Meemaw's vibrant presence in Young Sheldon and her colder persona in TBBT. The spin-off could smartly use dramatic moments to begin that transformation. For instance, in Young Sheldon's finale, we see the family mourning George Sir's sudden death. Meemaw, though supportive, clearly carries emotional weight beneath her sharp-tongued humor. Her heartbreak over her son's passing, especially seeing Mary spiral into grief, might spark a more protective, closed-off version of herself. Over the years, as she witnesses Sheldon leave for Caltech and the rest of the family drift apart, her sardonic exterior could become a defense mechanism. Imagine episodes in the spin-off where Meemaw steps in to babysit Cease but grows increasingly overbearing. Or a storyline where her advice to Mandy leans traditional and sparks tension. These moments could begin the narrative bridge, showing a Meemaw who's still spirited but slowly retreating behind walls built from years of disappointment, loss, and change. Annie Potts deserves the spotlight. Annie Potts has delivered a pitch-perfect performance as Meemaw since Young Sheldon's earliest episodes. Her charisma and comedic timing breathed new life into the character, transforming her from an off-handed anecdote in The Big Bang Theory into one of the Cooper family's emotional pillars. In many ways, Meemaw became the show's secret weapon. Her gambling escapades, blunt advice, and unlikely romantic subplots were always fan highlights. In the Georgie and Mandy spinoff, Potts now has the opportunity to explore a more complex, layered version of Meemaw. If the writing allows her to depict the slow evolution from spirited grandmother to more cynical matriarch, it could be one of the series' most compelling through-lines. A character who once bet on sports games and drank margaritas could, by the show's end, grow weary of the family's dysfunction, becoming more guarded and, in Sheldon's eyes, unapproachable. Potts is more than capable of carrying that transformation. She's already delivered emotional range beneath Meemaw's sass, and with the spin-off's more adult focus, she can help anchor the show's dramatic themes alongside its comedic moments. The family tension angle. Another important dynamic the spinoff could leverage is Meemaw's relationship with Mary. The mother-daughter duo have always clashed, with Mary's devout religious views often at odds with Meemaw's looser lifestyle. In young Sheldon, their tension was mostly played for laughs, but it also hinted at deeper wounds. In the aftermath of George Sir's death, this relationship could fracture further. Mary might blame Meemaw for enabling George's drinking or undermining her parenting. Alternatively, Meemaw might become increasingly frustrated with Mary's rigid grief or judgmental behavior. Over time, this escalating conflict could help explain why, in The Big Bang Theory, Meemaw seems so opinionated and bitter, especially toward outsiders like Amy. Her disapproval of Amy could stem from being burned too many times watching Mary and others cling to a version of life she no longer believes in. The spinoff doesn't need to villainize Meemaw, but it should explore the heartbreak and pride that harden her views as the years go by. Balancing legacy with independence. A key question the Georgie and Mandy spinoff will have to answer is this: how much should it lean on the Big Bang Theory lore, and how much should it stand on its own? Meemaw's character offers a chance to do both. She's rooted in both series, serving as connective tissue for longtime fans, but she's also fresh enough to be explored more deeply than the brief TBBT appearance allowed. By thoughtfully charting her evolution, the writers can enrich not only this new show, but the Big Bang universe as a whole. It would show that characters age not just in years, but in personality, shaped by trauma, by love, and by the way families rise and fall apart. A chance for redemption. In The Big Bang Theory, Meemaw's episode left many fans disappointed. Her hostility toward Amy felt out of character for the beloved grandma we knew in young Sheldon, and it made Sheldon look unreasonable for holding her in such high regard. This spin-off offers the perfect chance to contextualize that behavior. Rather than dismissing it as poor continuity, the new series can reframe it as the final destination on a long, painful journey. Maybe Meemaw loved fiercely, lost deeply, and grew mistrustful of change. Maybe she struggled to embrace people outside the family because she saw how quickly that family fractured after George's death. Maybe she wasn't cruel, just tired and afraid. By giving her a full arc, not a sudden switch in attitude, the show can redeem her TBBT version without rewriting history. Fans deserve to see not just who Meemaw became, but why she became that way. Conclusion: Meemaw is the soul of the spinoff. While the Georgie and Mandy spinoff will likely focus on parenting hijinks, blue-collar struggles, and romantic milestones, Meemaw is poised to be the soul of the series. She connects the Cooper past to its future, offering a unique perspective